Isabel Parker seemed like an ordinary person, but her story of a tragic slip-and-fall accident has left many people wondering if it was all an elaborate insurance scam. The details of the incident and the aftermath have left some asking what really happened to Isabel Parker. Did she truly suffer a life-threatening injury as a result of her fall, or did she orchestrate a plan to cash in on her insurance policy? Now, if you slip and hurt yourself when you're out shopping, it will be difficult for you to get compensated. That's because you're competing with scammers trying to cash in on fake accidents. Meet Isabel Parker, the perfecter of the infamous slip-and-fall scam. At 72 years old, Ms. Parker had made a career of falling in department stores, supermarkets, and liquor stores in Philadelphia, Delaware County, and New Jersey over 7 years. The money Isabel collected from her fraudulent claims fueled her gambling addiction. But what she didn't bet on was getting caught. She filed 49 bogus personal injury claims and collected $500,115 between 1993 and 2000. She pleaded to 29 counts of insurance fraud and theft in New Jersey alone. A busy woman for sure. Sounds ridiculous, no? Well, she admitted to having made more than $500,000 in bogus claims. By the way, do you think Grandma Parker had health insurance just in case her slip-and-fall scams were to come to a halt owing to her ripe age? Well, we can't say that for sure. What we can say for sure is that she was not the only one. Bruce Tarlow slipped on a piece of lettuce in a New Jersey grocery store and sued, claiming permanent injuries. But before the accident, Tarlow was caught on videotape, kicking the lettuce into position. He then strolled back, looked around, and down he went. Thank God there are cameras around, otherwise these people would get away with it so easily. Eduardo Pomari Leon hired a lawyer after he fell in a puddle of soda in a supermarket in Atlanta, planning to sue. But before the fall, Pomari Leon was caught on videotape taking the bottle off the shelf, looking around, and pouring some on the floor. Minutes later, he slipped and fell on the soda he spilled. He was caught, prosecuted, and served 90 days in jail. Richard Dean said he was injured in a fall at a Long Island supermarket. A videotape, however, shows that although he slipped, he never fell. Before the accident, Dean spilled fabric softener from his shopping cart right where he would later slip on it. Despite his so-called injuries, 9 days later he was caught on tape again carrying a refrigerator. Instead of collecting $2 million as he had hoped, Dean went to jail for a year. Las Vegas is another prime stop for those who want to commit fraud. One man who appeared to have fallen down a casino escalator was caught on videotape faking the fall. When the casino showed him the video, they say he decided not to file any claims. Gamblers aren't the only ones trying to cash in. As many as 20% of those who fall in Las Vegas are faking it. These can be very lucrative scams, and they're very hard to disprove unless you have a surveillance tape in the store to catch them in the act. Debbie Williams, a fortune teller, was caught faking a fall in aisle 9 of a New York City grocery store. Williams, who is also a fortune teller, knew she would fall before she walked into the store. The police believed so. In 2 of those falls, the 2 women were arrested, prosecuted, and pled guilty to an attempted scheme to defraud, a misdemeanor. Their punishment, 1 night in jail and a $1,000 fine. Among all of them, one believable insurance claim is of a bride on fire. Everything was going great for Paula Catelli from Rimini, Italy, on her wedding day, until her beautiful handmade wedding gown came a little too close to the barbecue. One minute she was laughing, and the next she was screaming. The dress's synthetic material ignited instantly, and suddenly, this blushing bride was burning. Her loving husband saved the day by picking her up and throwing her into the sea. Since they live to tell the tale, it can be amused that both the bride and groom are darn good swimmers. Hey, you try swimming in a wedding dress. So, how do these scammers make money out of it? For that, you'll have to know about property insurance. What property insurance with liability coverage does is that when someone who is not the owner is injured while on the property and decides to sue, it takes care of the damages. But not everyone who slips will hit the ground by accident. Fraudsters are known to file fake injury claims to cash in on someone else's liability insurance. And while fraudulent slip-and-fall insurance claims are pretty old school, the time-tested scheme has hardly gone out of style. There were more than 6,000 questionable slip-and-fall claims in 2019, while the overwhelming majority of claims targeted businesses such as retail stores, parking lots, and restaurants. 11% of slip-and-fall scams targeted homeowners' insurance policies. And here's the truly disturbing part. The trend of filing questionable slip-and-fall claims against homeowners has increased by 39% from 2017 to 2019. These scammers aren't reinventing the wheel when it comes to their tactics, but there have been few changes in the tactics they use. There have been cases in which a scammer hired witnesses to sign statements stating they were present when the scammer fell and was injured. To protect these kinds of slip-and-fall scams, install video systems that can record scam artists in the act. Such recordings can be used to assist by providing evidence of the case. Additionally, for business owners and homeowners, keep common areas clear of any hazards that could result in a fall. In retail stores, aggressive employees' interaction with customers will make it more difficult for scammers to set up an accident. Homeowners should be aware of common household items which could be used by a trickster, such as a hose on the sidewalk, items precariously stacked in the yard, or even a child's toy. While surveillance cameras and recordings are nice to have, be careful not to run afoul of the state, local, or federal laws when using them. Though you may generally have the right to record what is happening in your own home, remember that guests have a reasonable expectation of privacy in some places, particularly in bedrooms and bathrooms. Also, keep in mind that using cameras in a way that captures what is happening on someone else's property, like a neighbor's property, is probably not legal. Finally, with regard to audio recordings, remember that while some states allow you to record a conversation without someone's knowledge, several don't. Apart from video and audio recordings, many fake slip-and-fall accidents can also be prevented with increased vigilance. Set up and staff your property in a way that it would be very difficult for a scammer to set a scene for a fake injury. Now, what to do if a claim is made against you? Despite our best intentions and preparation, sometimes the worst can happen. Someone may try to fake a slip and fall at your home or business. If this happens, don't panic. Before anyone else, make sure your insurer knows what happened. Most insurance policies require you to provide notice to the company of a potential insurance claim as soon as possible. Failure to report a claim in a timely manner, even a false insurance claim, can be the basis for a denial. While this may seem harsh, homeowners insurance companies and business liability carriers need the information as soon as possible to preserve evidence and get to the truth. You're not done after you report the insurance claim. You also have a duty to cooperate with your insurance company. This means that you have to assist the insurance adjuster with investigating and collecting evidence about the claim. If you don't do what is necessary to help, the company can deny your claim outright. While this may sound like an adversarial process, and sometimes it can be, here you're on the same side. Neither you nor the insurance company benefits from a scammer making a fraudulent claim against your policy. In this type of case, have a frank conversation with your insurer about what to do, and work together closely. Because insurance fraud is a crime, cooperating with your insurance company may mean working with law enforcement as well. Also, the worst thing in these scams is that you or your business may wind up in a lawsuit. If that happens, don't panic. You have already started working with your insurance company, so tell them the moment you receive any legal paperwork. Your insurance company will have connections with local attorneys and should pay for your legal defense. Once you have an attorney representing you, listen to their advice about how to proceed. Depending on the evidence, they may suggest that you fight the case in court and attempt to get it dismissed. As a practical matter, the attorney and insurance adjuster may agree to pay a nuisance value settlement to get rid of the claim. If the person attempting to scam you has filed other baseless lawsuits before, you may want to discuss having the court name the person a vexatious or abusive litigant, or even bringing a Rule 11 motion for sanctions. If you succeed, you may restrict the scammer's ability to file more lawsuits in the future. As part of one of these motions, you may also get an award for attorney fees. Keep in mind that when an insurance company is paying your legal bills, you will not receive attorney fees directly. Rather, they will go to the attorney, and your insurance company will get the benefit of not having to pay those funds. Fake slip and fall claims don't just hurt the people and businesses targeted, they hurt all of us who bear the cost of increased insurance premiums. And they hurt legitimate injury victims who can be unfairly perceived as scammers themselves. That is why it is important to stop slip and fall fraud wherever we find it. Now, ask yourself why you would consider faking a slip and fall accident. Is the risk of being caught worth the reward? Are there other ways to get help that don't involve deception? While it may seem like an easy way out, this action could have serious legal implications and can also destroy your reputation. Think carefully before making any decisions that could lead to negative consequences. What do you think? Is faking a slip and fall accident ever a good idea?